All right, so we're gonna be looking at a tool that every trim carpenter needs, trim routers. Over the past few years, we've seen a lot of battery trim routers come out. Milwaukee came out with theirs just this last year. Dewalt came out with one just before Milwaukee, and Makita has been out with one for a couple years now. They were the first ones to bring a cordless one to market. So all real similar features. We'll do the same thing, but we're gonna look at the differences and stuff of them. So we're gonna get working on this here now. Do a couple comparisons. I gotta make some columns. So for this corner joint, I'm gonna be putting a 3/8 rabbet on this piece here. So pretty good amount to take out of that. This is solid poplar. So we're going to do that. So you can see the Milwaukee, no problem as far as power. That's a pretty decent sized rabbet, especially in this harder wood. I've done some different profiles in oak and other things too, and I have really no problem as far as what a trim router should be able to do. But it doesn't have a 1/2-inch collet on it, so you're not gonna be able to do the really big profiles and stuff. But some nice features about this Milwaukee is the macro and micro adjustments on it. You can see this clamps it down. You undo that, it's not gonna move at all. You do this back and forth though, and this just adjusts it just a little bit. Exactly, you can dial it in where you want it, but then you push this button here and you can move it a lot like that. And then after you get it set in, then you can really dial it in where you want it to be. So this is really well thought out as far as adjusting it up and down, which can be crucial when you're routing something, especially if you're matching something existing and you have to have that get just right. Dust extraction's pretty decent on it. This fits basically your standard size 27mm fuses. This is the best tool. A lot of the other brands have pretty much the same size as that. It's works pretty good with the 5 amp-hour battery. That's pretty much what it's optimized for. You can get a lot more runtime if you put a bigger battery on it, but then it's gonna start making it a little bit more top heavy, but it feels pretty comfortable, not too heavy on top with the 5 amp-hour on it. All right, so now same bit with the Makita. One thing to note about the Makita, the base, the hole is a little bit smaller, so this actually kind of had to be trimmed for this specific bit. It does fit, the plastic piece was just trimmed, but so we're gonna have a go with this bit. All right, so the Makita, you can tell it's got a little bit less power than the Milwaukee, but it still performed the same task, no problem. The one thing about the Makita that I do not like is the on and off button. If you just push the on and off button, it doesn't come on. You have to first hit the unlock button, and then you can hit that and it turns it on. Sometimes if you're routing upside down in a weird position or where you can't see it, you don't always remember which one's which, so sometimes you gotta fumble around to push that. Also, as far as up and down, adjusting it, it doesn't really have a super positive spot. It'll just kind of go on its own. So you can dial it in like this to get it exactly where you want, but it's not super solid and it kind of wants to move on you. So it's kind of almost like a two-handed process, almost a three-hand process, because you kind of got to hold it against your body, hold this, dial it in, and then lock it where you want. Also, dust collection. So Makita's always weird about their sizes. This Festool hose does fit in it, but you really have to force it in and get it in there. But battery life on this thing is probably the best out of the three. This one does really, really good, partly because it is not as powerful as all of them, but you can do a ton of trim routing, a lot of linear feet, and this battery will last all day on a 5.0. Unfortunately, with the 5.0 though, this is the biggest. They do make a 6.0, but they don't make any like high output batteries and stuff. So if you want more runtime, the other two, you can grab yourself a bigger battery. All right, so now we got last one, Dewalt. Again, same bit, same wood, so we are going to do this. All right, so the Dewalt, it's definitely the biggest out of the three. It's got a little more girth, it's a little bit taller, but it's also the most powerful. You can tell. One thing, this has kind of pretty unique as far as the adjustment. The other two are real similar as how they go up and down in the adjustment. This one though, this has a collar at the top that spins. That's the pretty much only way you adjust it. So it does a real good job as micro adjustment. So you unlock it, and you can spin it around, and you can even see here how much it goes around, how much up and down. So an eighth to a 16th, 3/16ths, 30-second there, and then to do up and down more, a lot, you got to spin the whole thing all the way around to get it up and down where you need it to go. The dust collection on this is probably the worst out of three, and then two, also, this is the hardest to get into if you have a Festool hose. This size hose, it's got inner and outer. If you can see, this doesn't get in there real good. It kind of wanted to come out, and it's kind of pain to put in. But let's look at all these three side by side. Both the Milwaukee and Dewalt just got regular toggle switches, which make it real easy to turn it on and off without even looking at it. You know if it's on or off. Dewalt's got a good brake on it. Milwaukee's got a good brake on it. Makita does not have a brake on it, so just two nice things about both of these. So basically, like I said, you're going to get the same end result with all three of these. If you held up a piece of wood that you were routing out, as long as you have them all set in the same spot, you wouldn't be able to tell which one was routed by which. The difference comes in when you're actually using these, when you're adjusting it, and the dust collection for it. Out of all three of these, you can't go wrong. They're really great. But if I had to pick one, and only one, it would probably be the Milwaukee, just because the biggest thing is the adjustment as far as up and down. And it probably, as far as dust collection, it does better than all of them just because it's easy to put in the hose and stuff, and you have a wide range of batteries that you can use on it. Again, nothing wrong with the other ones, just this one's the most user-friendly, in my opinion. But, so we're not done there. We actually have a bunch of attachments that you can get for these. So we got different bases and stuff that you can get with these, which makes them a heck of a lot more versatile. So we're gonna look at those as well. All right, so we looked at the routers as far as the performance and stuff, all of them, but one thing that can change the router up, make it even better, and do a lot more things is the different bases and attachments you get from the routers. So all of these routers, you can get a bunch of different stuff for it. So next video, we're just gonna look at the bases and as far as your different options you can get with these routers. So look for part 2 for this video. It'll be coming real soon, so you know what's going to help you do what and make your life a little easier when doing certain tasks. All right, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also check out my Instagram. I got a lot of daily stuff on there, even some giveaways and stuff that I got going on. If you're interested in any of these, I'll put links to all these with some of the best deals that I can find in the description. Thanks for watching.